got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up. And throughout the world today.
Uniting the races with truth. Instead of dividing them with lies, we're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the show. I hope you had an amazing weekend. It went by fast for me, as usual. I was thinking this morning how time is not moving. It's just the clock is moving and the sun is going up and down around the earth. And for the flat earth, they're up and down the earth. But time is not moving, and yet it seems as though time is going by fast. What the? Amazing. I cannot believe summer is over. What happened to the summer? It is now, and you can tell in LA at least, the weather is a little bit more chilly now in the morning, at night, and early in the morning. You have to put a jacket on. You have to turn the heater back on. Amazing, huh? The climate is changing from summer to winter. I wonder what God was thinking when he created that. And the people get mad about it, and they want to change it. Anyway, you can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, traveling back home from your vacation, whatever, running from the cartels or paying the cartels to come into America, or if you're a Border Patrol, American Border Patrol, and you're cutting over the open the barbed wire to let the illegal aliens in, whatever you're doing, you could be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us, JLP Talk on Twitter and rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. Y'all know what to do, right? And to donate and have your comments read out loud here on the air, buy me a coffee.com/Jesse Lee Peterson Talk. No, JLP Talk. Buy me a coffee.com/JLP Talk. Rebuildingtheman.com and Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. All right? Amazing fellowship yesterday. When I say amazing, I totally mean it. It was amazing fellowship. if you were not there, or you may not have had a chance to catch it live online, you can podcast at rebuildingtheman.com/church, rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right? We dealt with the biblical question, what is real reality? Real reality. Lots was said about that. And in my little 2 cents, I explained that real reality is everything that we are not. Everything that we are not is real reality. So you have to overcome your not in order to know what real reality is. You have to overcome your not. This is why it's so important to know thyself. Pay close attention to you, what's happening inside of you. And you're going to see what's happening outside of you, inside of others, but pay close attention to what's happening inside of you. You're going to be stunned because all people, until they wake up, don't know themselves at all. Everything you think you are is just not true, but you believe it and you act it out. Know thyself is the beginning of overcoming the false self. All right? It's a spiritual battle. Brand new biblical question. Brand new biblical question. And it's a doozy. When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? That's an amazing question. Amazing. You know, I've said over and over again, and it worth repeating. I am not going to get my country back. It's not going to come back. I'm more sure of that today than I was yesterday, or the day before, or last year. My country is no longer in tears of thee. And it's interesting, too. I'm literally watching my country being taken away. And I'm watching all the wrong people being put in the right places to make sure that America never returns. They are doing to America exactly what they did to South Africa, Europe, and other places to make sure it never returns. I heard a quick report this morning on Fox News. I don't know how true it is, but I heard it, that the children are not being taken care of in the emergency rooms. You know, when you take your kids to the emergency room at a hospital or something, that the hospital emergency rooms are not equipped to take care of the children in the right way. Isn't that amazing? So when I heard that, I wasn't surprised. Everything is getting bad. Everything. And the reason for it is because, number one, white people are afraid. They won't speak up, right, and get involved and vote out these people, run for office, and make sure our country does return. So the whites are afraid, and they're putting in the blacks who are not qualified. They're doing it, the affirmative action and reparation in the making. And they're putting in people who are not qualified. They are not qualified. And blacks already have, and not all, but most, they already have this thing where they are incapable of taking care of themselves, and they're always trying to take something away from the white people And now it has gotten to the point that the whites are giving up their country to the blacks, and it's just getting worse. It's got to get worse, but it's worse, and it's going to get worse because the blacks are not qualified. They're about reparations and affirmative action and equality, all that mess. And they're putting these people in flying airplanes and the tall building there at the airport and everywhere. And in our government, the police department, and you saw what Obama did when the fallen Messiah, was president. I said then, it's a big mistake to elect Barack Obama. He would bring the country to his knees. And he brought it almost to his knees, and now the leftover in his administration is bringing it totally to his knees. There will be a serious South Africa in America. You're putting in all the wrong people in the right places to make sure it doesn't return. And you don't see what's happening. You see something is wrong, but you don't see the darkness of what's really going on. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You think that people committing suicide now and depressed and lonely and on drugs and alcohol and all that mess, it's going to get worse because they're not even hiring white folks for the most part. I think I saw a report of all the people that were hired this year or last year or whatever, only 6% I think were white. White people are sitting back and allowing their country to be taken away from them. It's like inviting someone in your home, or you have a family member or visitor or someone to come visit for a week or two, and they get so comfortable they start eating up your sweet potato pie. You left a little sweet potato pie in there, and while you're at work, they ate up your sweet potato pie. And then they get comfortable. They want to stay 3 weeks. You're like, no, you got to go. You can't stay 3 weeks. What the? But most people are too weak and afraid. They'll let them stay 3 weeks. And they say, they're moved in. That's what is happening in my country, America. According to Bloomberg, corporate America promised to hire a lot more people of color. It actually did. The year after Black Lives Matter protested, the S&P 100 added more than 300,000 jobs. 94% went to people of color. That's evil. That's evil. And that's evil. And the sad thing about it, blacks can't run anything. It's not like you put them in, you hire them, and then you find out. You know it before you even do it. And yet you're putting them in. You got to have South Africa. And white folks, I know a lot of you about land out in the suburbs and places like that. That's not going to work either. You can't run from evil within yourself. You can't run from it outside of you, inside of others. You have to deal with evil. It has no power. It just roars like a lion, but it is weak inside of you and outside of you, but you don't know it because you identify with the evil. 94% of the jobs went to so-called people of color in the white man's land. I'm warning you. And then they're hiring these women They're making sure that every wheat vessel is in the right place to make sure the strength of the country never come back again. It's just getting weaker and weaker, and you see people fighting and arguing and backstabbing and everything right now. It's everywhere. This is not normal, and it doesn't have to be. But because human beings are evil, the nature of human beings is evil, is happening. Anger is being pushed as evil. I want you to mark it down on your computer somewhere that October 2nd, 2023, Jesse Peterson from JLP Talk said, all the wrong people are being put in the right places to make sure that America never returns, and it's only going to get worse, and we will have South Africa in America. It's going to happen. There's nothing to stop it. And for those who don't know what South Africa is, the white people in South Africa, Mommy Africa, for years the blacks were trying to take it over, Nelson Mandela and all those insane people. And finally, the white people gave it up. And they moved out to the farmland. They told the blacks, okay, you can have everything. We're going to move out to the farmlands. We wish y'all well. And they gave the everything that was nice over to the blacks. And now it's totally destroyed. And the blacks are going out to the farmlands now, robbing and raping and destroying along the roadside and the farmland, the white people. Because you can't overcome evil with physical things. And catering to the blacks is not going to help it. And I see the same identical thing happening here. Why don't y'all wake up while you can? Then you'll see what to do. Because these people, they have no conscience. And they don't care what they kill one another, they rob. I saw a report the other day where in Philadelphia, I believe, some blacks were carjacking people with cameras in broad daylight. They just don't care. Blacks need love. They need to be told the truth. They need to be stopped. The catering to them needs to stop. The government life that they have needs to stop. Otherwise, there's nothing to stop it. And you put all these women, every time they have a report on these TV channel things, they bring on women. Every blue moon, you may see a man, expert, so-called expert, right? Because they know, the evil in them know that evil works through the woman, and if you put her in charge, it's over. Look at the children. Look at the country now. The women and the blacks are destroying America. And not all women, because there are some women now who are starting to wake up and overcome. But most, they love their state of mind. They love their misery, and they love passing it on to others, including the man's children. So I'm telling you, the blacks cannot do it, and they don't care. Blacks have an attitude of don't care attitude. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about their children. They don't care about their own home or community, whatever you want to call it, and they don't care about America. Look what Obama, the fallen Messiah, did to America. He and Big Mama Michelle. Well, you put him in our government, here's what you're going to continue to get, and it's going to get worse. There's this guy by the name of Jamaal Bowman. He's a Democrat from New York. Here's some of the highlights. Here's some of the highlights from Jamaal Bowman. Watch this compilation.
We will will never accept hateful rhetoric in our city. Any rhetoric that is divisive, any rhetoric that uplifts white supremacy, we are pushing back against that in all its forms. Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to take her back to Washington. We got you. We got you. And more to come. Clown, thug, crook, criminal. Carry guns.
Would you
More guns lead
co-sponsor?
to more death.
Would you co-sponsor
More
my bill?
guns lead to more death.
Would you co-sponsor
Look at
my
the
bill?
data. You're not looking at any data. Calm
you-
down. Children are dying.
I know, I've got a
9-year-old
solution.
children.
I've got a
Because the solution is not arming teachers.
That's
Have you ever
worked in
worked in a
every
school?
school. In
Have
every
you
school
ever
that's
worked in a
surrounded-
school?
In every
Have you ever worked in a school?
That's black, and that's in our government. Blacks have attitude. They're angry. And they think that they're victims. They act like victims. So this guy, Bowman, yelling at this guy about the schools, but you can go to any black school, especially public black school, the kids are killing one another. They're robbing. They don't care. And the teachers don't care. He's just acting out. That's the man that is involved in our government. How will my country come back as long as you keep hiring those type of people? He was rejoicing at Donald Trump, thinking that Donald Trump is in trouble. Woe unto the man or the woman that rejoices in someone's trouble. But this guy, Bowman, doesn't care. And yet he's involved in government. You saw yelling about Marjorie Greene and the president. This man carried on. That's all he's doing, just carrying on. He is not capable of making things better. And you put him in government. Breitbart reported that this guy, Breitbart reported that Republicans have drafted a resolution to expel Jamaal Bowman after he allegedly pulled a fire alarm to delay a vote to avert a government shutdown. Bowman reportedly said he thought the alarm would open the door. Watch this from Fox and CNN.
Democratic Congressman Jamaal Bowman is under investigation for pulling a fire alarm in the House Cannon office building. Bowman's was identified by security footage, and his office says this was just an accident. I don't know how you accidentally pull in a fire alarm.
At best, it's childish. At worst, this is obstruction of Congress or obstruction of an official proceeding. That's real serious, and frankly reeks of the sort of stunts that, Republicans try to pull sometimes. And don't be like Republicans. Don't be like Republicans.
Today, as I was rushing to make a vote, I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I'm embarrassed to admit that I activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door. But I want to be very clear, this was not me in any way trying to delay any vote. It was the exact opposite. I was trying urgently to get to a vote. My hope is that no one will make more of this than it was.
Amazing. Nothing going to happen as a result of him doing that. He black, and the whites are afraid. Had that been a white male Republican done that, or Marjorie Greene done that, it'll be a different story. It'll have been a different story. He wanted to stop the vote, right? Why don't they shut down the government? I want them to shut the government down. The government is, number one, out of control. Number two, we're paying for women, children, and daycare, and to feed them, and all kind of stuff, when they don't care about their own children. I don't want to be taking care of somebody else's children. They need to shut the government down. It's too big. It's out of control with wild people. It's out of control. And you keep voting in. You're voting in your own destruction. And you keep thinking that, and believe me, if this happened, this guy knew exactly what he was doing, by the way. My country will not come back. It's over. Now, it is over, but you can live in it and not be of it if you overcome it. Because there is nowhere to run, to be honest. They are following you everywhere. Look what they're doing to Texas and Florida. Breitbart has reported that Bowman alleged action are being investigated by the House Administration Committee and the U.S. Capitol Police. Yeah, right. Nothing going to happen from this. Apparently, Bowman didn't watch Saturday cartoon as a kid. Watch it from PBS. What the?
I just overheard. It's a false alarm. Someone pulled a fire alarm? Who would do a thing like that?
What? You don't think I...
Is this your knapsack? It was found beneath the fire alarm.
What I did was dumb and dangerous. I'm very sorry, and I'll never pull the fire alarm when there isn't a fire again. The end.
I'm glad you understand the seriousness of this offense, Binky. But I have to admit, I'm still baffled. Why did you do it?
I don't know.
Maybe Bowman did watch it. What the? Amazing, huh? And they say that Bowman, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say he used to be a principal or a school teacher or something. Must have been at one of those black schools. Y'all, the western part of the world is being destroyed because it's nice. And these people don't know how to keep niceness going. They don't know how to keep it better. And they move into the western countries and you let them take over. Really, you're letting them do it. And so I can't blame them, even though I don't want this to happen. I can't blame them because the whites are letting it happen. They're handing it over. It's like you vote in the same old people all the time. And you get the same old thing, but you still vote for them. Look at California. A mess. And it has gotten worse overnight, it seems. And when it's time to vote, they go and vote in the same old people, or even worse, the Democrats. Amazing, huh? I got more proof that it's going to get worse instead of better. They've been lying to you about slavery and Jim Crow and all that mess. Even if they were not lying to you, that doesn't justify giving up the country. 888-877-53773. Back in a moment. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888. There is a line open. A couple announcements. I have more proof that my country is over. It's weird, too, because most people don't see what's going on, even though it's right in front of them. And the enemies of my country, they use words like racism, police brutality, the prisons are stacked with black people, racism. They use these words that are just not true, and the people fall for it. I understand when you're blind that, that's what happens, but some things, you're just like, whatever. Anyway, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. The Hake, Hake report.com. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. At 12 noon Pacific time. And I believe that, I know you did a show on Friday, but I think he did another one on Saturday. You should podcast. The American Anchor Baby. All right? He was flying so high, he did it twice. Friday and Saturday. High off natural energy, not pot, not this other mess. And don't forget, for personal shout-outs, weddings, congratulations, encouragements, whatever it might be, you can go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and I will do them for you. What a mess, huh? What a mess. Let me go to Greg out of Florida. Greg, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, can you come right back to me in a minute? I'm dealing with a customer, and I'll be on the road in a minute. I'm sorry.
What the? Amazing. Let's go to Lola. Her name was Lola. Lola Falana.
Good morning, Mr. Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Lola. How are you?
I'm good. I'm originally from Nigeria. But I had a very interesting conversation with Afrikaans in South Africa right about when Donald Trump was about to be elected. And I was arguing for the fact that Donald Trump needed to become president. But the Afrikaans, which are the white people in South Africa, they were arguing against me, saying, no, Black people are oppressed, and look at South Africa. They've gained so many strides from, replacing the government with mostly Black people. Look at how South Africa is now.
Yeah.
So many people tried to warn them. Now we have South Africans who are begging for white people to come back in government because everything's gone awry. It's ridiculous.
That's what.
And I don't understand how Black people don't see it. From the moment, I've been in America for years now, and the most racism I've ever experienced are from African Americans.
Yeah.
I've not experienced a white person being racist towards me, ever. I mean, they would call me monkey. I lived in huts. They would mispronounce my name. At least white people attempted to pronounce my name correctly. I don't understand how people can't see what's in front of them.
I think that they see it, but they are just afraid to deal with it. They are afraid of the name calling. They're afraid of losing material things, not realizing that they're going to call them names anyway, and they're still going to lose material things. They're going to lose their country because they have put that before what is right, before God, and they'll end up losing the country. And it's mind-blowing to me that I can see what's happening, and they won't see it. They won't stop it. And it's happening in all of the Western countries, and the white people are just afraid. But we will have, and as a matter of fact, we already have South Africa. It's just getting worse now, and it will happen here in this country. It is happening already.
Yeah. I used to, discuss with people and say, Nelson Mandela he was the worst thing for South Africa.
Yeah.
I got so much hate, Jesse. People would call me, an Uncle Tom. Even my husband voted for Obama, and I never did. I knew something was off with him.
Yeah.
Everyone else kept saying, you need to vote for him. He's Black. I didn't care for the color. I wanted the best person possible for the seat.
Absolutely.
It's so.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to watch it and experience it. It's just sad. I don't think it's ever coming back.
No,
ever.
It's over. One thing for sure, it's over because they are making sure that it never come back. As I said, they are putting all the wrong people in the right places to make sure, and they know that these blacks are going to destroy it. They know it. That's why they're putting them there, because the blacks are used to destroy, not to build, not to improve upon, not to make better, but to destroy. And they know it, and that's why they're putting the blacks there. Lola, I really appreciate your call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jesse. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a good day.
All right. Another witness to what's happening. Another witness to what's happening. And she's right. The blacks treat each other worse than any white man is doing slavery or Jim Crow or any other time. Because the blacks, not all, but most hate God. They are not children of God, period. Oh, they dance, they shout, they go to church, and that's about it. Their hearts are still evil. Their hearts are still evil. Nelson Mandela, he's being replaced with even worse people in Mommy Africa. These people chanted out loud, kill the white people, kill the farmers, the white farmers. Kill the Boer, or whatever they call it. And they get away with it. And white people, I can't believe y'all you still make excuses. Oh, why black people been oppressed? Black people been enslaved. That's dumb. That's not true. You're letting the devil give you reasons not to protect yourself, your own family. Super chat. Super
chats.
And it's just it's gotten worse. Look at, even in Chicago, the black so-called mayor in Chicago doesn't want to call it black rioting or what. They want to call it gathering or something dumb like that. And you fall for it. 888-7753-773. And once America is gone, it's over for the whole world. Because America is set the standard. We're the light, used to be the light of the world, and everybody wanted to be like America. The light is going out. Super chat.
Super chats.
Justin Childers bought you a coffee well, I say yesterday, but Friday.
BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk.
There were several supers left over from Friday. Jesse, whites don't speak up because it's been criminalized since 1964. Many employers have a policy that says employees can't violate civil rights, even in their free time, because it reflects on the employer. So if a white person says or posts something about blacks being out of control, they can be fired for racial discrimination. You have to sign an agreement when you get hired. Self-employment is the answer to the problem, I think.
Well, they'll find a way to take that from the blacks, too. I mean, from the whites, too, self-employment.
Yep.
Most of these businesses that are being taken away from them are white people who are self-employed. They own the company. What the? Thank you.
Evgeny Crosby with a couple of diamonds. Big Mama Michelle does she have cigars? No. Slim Jim. Because she likes to eat.
Oh, what the? Thank you.
She knows she's still the boss.
Thank you, Evgeny Crosby. Jay Morales bought 33 coffees. Very generous. The wall going up. Laughing face with sweat coming down. Emoji. Thank you.
Oh, the wall going up. Thank you.
Marcus bought a coffee. Jesse, thank you for the wisdom, sir. Shout out to all the guys at the JLP show. God bless.
Thank you.
Someone with a coffee. When you are tired or sick, do you find it harder to stay present?
When you are tired or sick, do you find it hard to stay present? I suppose so. Especially since you're growing into it, you're not all the way there yet. I suppose so. Yeah.
Riley JM asks, is it okay to remind yourself that what is going on in my head is not real?
Yeah. You should remind yourself until you don't have to remind yourself anymore. Amazing. Thank you.
Prep Ham Paul comments on a caller from Friday over on Rumble. He's a monthly supporter on Rumble. Funny, he thinks the Republicans want to hurt and shut things down. The Democrats are doing the same thing for different reasons. In other words, where and who they want to give the free money to.
Yeah.
Elias.
They need to shut the government down. We only have one party now. But the Republicans, if there was real Republicans and not rhinos and not in for themselves now, they would shut the government down and clean it out and do it the right way. Make it simple and the right way. But we only have one party. The Republicans and the Democrats are the same. We have a one-party system. Thank you.
Elias Garcia bought a coffee requesting that you react to a cartoon that says apologies to Jesse Jackson, and it is a game show called Wheel of Fortune. You know that Wheel of Fortune game show? Right. But in this cartoon, when the word to solve was naggers, but somebody says a different word, people who bother you. Nice.
Thank you.
So thanks for the request.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors on Friday: Evgeny Crosby, Stan at 69, and Greenwall. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Richie over on YouTube before church said, I just watched a short video of Mike Tyson calling out the devil, talking about the devil, giving you your thoughts. I wonder if that was influenced by Jesse. Where's the JLP interview with Mike?
Well, I do know that Mike really liked the show, that's for sure. And I didn't know that until I met him. And I didn't even know he was aware of my show at all, but he really liked it a lot. So if we are influencing him, right on. Somebody got to say it. It's amazing. Thank you.
That's right. He's all, hey, the fallen state.
Right. He was like, when I walked in the room, he was like, wow, the fallen state. I love this guy. I love this guy. We got to have him on my show. And they were in the process of taping already. And so he and I did a show together.
Nice.
It was amazing. I think it was, I don't know why they don't put it. Well, I've been told, but I don't know for sure that it's a little too controversial. And so I know Mike is not afraid to put it out, but it's handled as well, I think. Maybe one day it'll happen, though. Who knows? Thank you.
Matthew out of Georgia bought 5 coffees. Praise be to God. I thank you and your crew so much. I'm truly grateful to have found you and your cast. And he bought 15 more coffees, saying, every night I have cried my eyes out this last month. They are not tears of sadness, they are tears of joy. I was so wrong, I did everything in my power to spit on his very name. I corrupted the youth. Anytime a man spread doubt to Jesus, I fueled their doubt in the name of masonry, in the name of man. But guess what? He still saved me. On my skin, I bear tattoos. I have SS stripes to resemble the lightning that came down from heaven when Lucifer was banished from heaven. Double flanking sulfur crosses to resemble the eternal fire and brimstone of hell.
What the?
And at the center of my chest, Lucifer's seagull, his emblem. I was so wrong in a world of my own hell. I thought he would be a man like me. I thought I would never be forgiven. When I came to him for forgiveness, it was all wiped clean, as if it never happened. Thank you and your staff so much. I am ever thankful that God gave you and your staff the light, the power, through his will to save a man like me.
Right on. Amazing.
Matthew in Georgia.
Matthew, stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with the silent prayer and watch. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets clearer and better, simple and everything. You'll just find yourself living, and all that you have done, God is not holding it against you. Period. He never has. He never will. He won't. Because he knows that it wasn't you. It was that thing that made a home in you. So let it go and continue to live. It's going to be amazing. You haven't seen anything. Stay with it. Stay with it. Thank you.
Ali bought 5 coffees. I thought I became a man, but after our conversation, I realized I'm still a beta. Allahu Akbar, LOL. And real reality, he's answering last week's biblical question, what is real reality? Is being in perfect peace, he says.
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you didn't watch the Sunday service, we dealt with that yesterday. Go to rebuildingaman.com/church. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Someone bought 3 coffees. I believe the abortion laws are more about more than just killing babies. Since it excludes men from the decision, it is about giving women complete control over our children's lives. Do you agree or see that as well?
Well, one thing for sure is it's about using women to kill the image of God. That's for sure, without a doubt. Amazing. Thank you. We'll finish those super chats, but I want to get you some calls before this hour's up.
I'll hang out.
You all.
I'll hang out in the background.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Let me go to Ben out of Australia. Ben, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
G'day, Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm your Australian anchor baby, my friend.
Hey, Ben.
Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you.
went to a barbecue recently. There were some ribs left. That was only because Michelle Obama wasn't at the backyard barbecue.
What the?
Jesse.
That's funny.
There were ribs left. She didn't eat all the ribs here, man. A couple of things. You know I love you, Jesse. I've spoken with you once before, and God bless you for all the phenomenal work you're doing to bring men's hearts back closer to alignment with our Father. I'm forever indebted to you for that. You mentioned that if America fails, so does the rest of the world. And so it's with that I just wanted to touch base with you, mate. To me, America is much bigger than the country that you guys just live in, Jesse. America is actually a feeling. America is a beating heart. America gives hope to the hopeless just by existing. I think America is the custodian of freedom. Anyone suffering subjugation around the world looks to America for a reprieve. I think America inspires rugged individualism by its mere existence alone. America actually gives solace to the downtrodden. And although I live in Australia, Jesse, I feel like an American, mate, because liberty lives in my heart. So how does America fit into God's plan, Jesse?
How does America fit into God's plan?
Yeah, into God's plan. Like, how did God help build and raise up America? And sort of how has turning away from God led to national decline in the United States and by extension the wider world, because you guys export culture?
Well, when the white man first discovered and built the country, they lived closer to the light of God, and God worked through them to cause them to build the greatest country. But now that light is going out, because men are the light of the world, salt of the earth, and men are under attack, that light is going out. And as a result of that, the light of America is going out as well. That's what happened to the blacks. When the black men were in charge of the family and providing for the family and not having any other leaders over them, the black people were doing very well in America. But then they attacked the black man. They put out the light. They gave the woman over to the government. They made her feel like she was better than the man. And so the light went out. And as a result, black people are leading the way to destruction right now. So that's what's happening. Because of time, let me ask, does your country still look to America as the light of the country, of the world?
Jesse, we do. And would you believe that we took a horrible example. Once President Obama lit up the White House in the rainbow flag, the transgender agenda has infiltrated our country. So any negative aspect of the liberals in your country has become the dominant pervasive culture in my country. And we don't have the First or Second Amendment, so we don't really have a means to push back. God bless you all. You've got to win the war, man.
Amazing.
You guys are the light for the world. You guys are the light for the world.
Ben, I appreciate your call, man. Call me again. Thank you for that. I got to take a break. Unfortunately, we're not the light of the world anymore. 2 more hours ago, Hake News, not the fake news, is coming, and I'll be back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
The lame-o government stayed open. Boo! But at least I guess there's less war welfare for Ukraine on the bright side. Trump has to go to court. Make sure you wear a suit, Mr. Trump, our greatest president. And there was a black female, as predicted by JLP, replacement for Dianne Feinstein. What a mess. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Peterson Show. It's Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. October 2nd, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. You can call in right now to get on hold, and JLP will get to you. But first, Hake news, not fake news. Commie Nonsense Network CNN reports a government shutdown was averted late Saturday after Congress passed a stopgap funding measure ahead of midnight deadline. The bill keeps the corrupt government open through November 17th. Passed the House with an overwhelmingly bipartisan, meaning evil, vote. It passed the Senate and signed into law by Biden. House Speaker in name only, Kevin McCarthy, caved to the demon rats. Now his speakership is at risk as quote-unquote hardline conservatives like Matt Gaetz, so hardline, threatened to vote to oust him. McCarthy fired back at conservative critics. If somebody wants to make a motion against me, bring it. Oh, talking tough. But the U.S. may have avoided a government shutdown, but the lack of additional funding for Ukraine in the spending bill has left some residents in the war-torn nation nervous. The stopgap bill includes natural disaster aid, but no new funding for Kiev. Speaking from the Black on the Inside White House Sunday, so-called President Sleepy Joe, corrupt Joe Biden, vowed the U.S. will not walk away from Ukraine and called on Republicans to support additional aid. Partisan divisions are widening on the role of the U.S. in the conflict between Russia and globo homo-backed Ukraine. In August, a CNN poll found most Americans oppose Congress authorizing additional funding to support Ukraine in their fight, with the public roughly split on whether the U.S. has already done enough. Our greatest president will appear in court today, according to CNN, Commie Nonsense, in New York for his civil fraud trial. It was the case was brought in September 2022, over a year ago, by New York black female Attorney General Letitia James against our greatest president and his eldest sons and their companies and several execs. Begins 10 Eastern. That's right about now, I guess, supposedly. Last week, the judge ruled our greatest president is liable for fraud. And people were mocking this judge because he valued Mar-a-Lago at $18 million when it's worth possibly hundreds of millions of dollars. Anyway, the New York Attorney General is seeking $250 million in so-called damages, a ban on the Trumps from serving as officers of a business in New York, and a ban on the Trump company from engaging in business transactions for 5 years. Should ban that woman. Anyway, speaking of black females, there's a black female replacing Feinstein. Quote from Governor Gavin Newsom of California. Laphonza, is that how you pronounce her name? Laphonza, whatever, will carry the baton left by Senator Feinstein, announcing his selection of Laphonza Butler to finish Dianne Feinstein's second term. Going from bad to worse, Feinstein's was the longest serving female U.S. senator in history. She died last week in office at age 90. The body will lie in state at San Francisco City Hall on Wednesday. I think she might have been mayor of San Fran. Laphonza Butler will become the sole black female senator, quote-unquote, serving in Congress, and only the third in U.S. history. That's 3 too many, am I right? Speaking of demon rats, Jimmy Carter turned 99. Happy birthday, man. Third or fourth or fifth or sixth worst recent president, one-term Jimmy Carter, made a surprise appearance in his hometown of Plains, Georgia, to celebrate his 99th birthday on Sunday. You can see his life in pictures on the Commie Nonsense website. I am James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved by calling 888-77 53773 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. Brand new biblical question. There is a line open if you want to jump in there. Brand new biblical question. When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? Amazing, huh? Know thyself. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're busy and you can't sit and watch the show, of course you can podcast it, but you can watch it. I mean, you can listen to it while you're doing what you're doing on your iPhone or iPad, anywhere in the whole wide world, by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500 on your iPhone, iPad. You can podcast it later, of course. And don't forget to follow us on cozy.tv, cozy.tv/JLP, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, whatever. Subscribe, and I appreciate it. And if you want to get your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. All right. There's a line open. I want to go to Greg. Let me try Greg again out of Florida. Greg, let's try it again.
Hey, sir, how are you this morning?
All is well, Greg.
I got a question about thoughts, Jesse. So I was listening to your church service yesterday. That was really good, by the way. I noticed every time I listen, y'all give me something to think about, and that's really cool.
Nice.
So you told that lady to be present, and you said you need to be present when you get out of the bed, you put your feet on the ground, you're going to brush your teeth, and I understand that. My question about the thoughts is, so you know what you have to do during a day. So you have your, I don't know what time you get up, but you have things you have to do, right?
Right.
So I feel like if this is what happens to me, I don't know if anybody else has this happen, but so when I'm in the present all the time, which is really nice to be in the present, I do feel the peace in that. But you can't help but think a little bit ahead because you think about the next thing you need to do. And but this is where it's hard, because I know as soon as you see that, then Satan gets busy. Because you thought out of the present moment, you think about, well, I'm getting ready to leave the house. Let me make sure I have everything. And then you start walking out the door and you check to make sure if you have everything. Well, you're running through your head to see if you can, if do I have my wallet? Do I have my keys? Do I have my debit cards? And when you start to do that, it takes you out of the present moment you're in. And then when you're out of that present moment, Satan gets busy, you know, and he deceives you really quick by saying, you're not going to remember that. You got to keep checking. You got to look at this right. And then you get out, and it builds that fear in you, and then that's where you get separated again. Does that sound like something you've heard? I know it is funny. I heard you laugh. It is funny. I was just wondering if you'd ever heard it.
So your question for me is what?
What is your exact definition of being in the present, so I can be clear on what you're saying? Hopefully I can see it.
Not thinking about this false illusion of the past or the future, or not being caught up in thoughts. When you are present, you're aware of yourself walking from one room to another one, going through the door, getting in and out of the car, having conversation with people, whatever. You're not lost in your thought about it. You're present. You're aware of yourself doing it.
So where I had that disconnect is I know that, but the problem I face is that when I'm in that present moment, sometimes, and I've had it happen to where I forget something I should have done. But I was present. Okay, I'm walking to the truck. I'm getting in the truck. I'm all that. But because I didn't go into my thoughts to figure out if I left something or not, sometimes I forget something. Does that make sense? So it's easy to get stuck in that thought.
So you're saying you get stuck in being present, that you forget your wallet?
Well, I'm just giving that as an example. Say if you're in present, I'm riding down the road right now going to my next job.
Right.
And I'm on the highway. I'm sitting in the car. I'm talking to Jasmine Peterson. But I also have to think about, did I grab what I needed to grab before I got to that customer's house? Yes, let me remember to grab that. Or else I can get, I guess it's my imagination now that I think about it. It's my imagination telling me I'm going to forget something, and then it builds fear over something that's not even taking place.
That's what it sounds like. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I just seen it as I was telling you. It was like, just like that, God revealed it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you have the answer then.
And I wanted to answer the biblical question, please.
When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something?
Old habits. I think that I need to do something, and I haven't died away from that completely yet. So sometimes I find myself filling in the blank because Satan tells me, you got to be doing something, Greg. And then because you feel like there's something you can do, and you only feel that way because you think you're in control and you're God. And you think that you can control something when you can't. When you truly realize you can't control something, you'll stop filling in blanks.
Amazing. I appreciate that, Greg. I'll put my little 2 cents on Sunday, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. I think but what is very interesting is that you asked this question about the thoughts, and the answer came to you. You were able to see the answer.
I think sometimes because I've been in this fallen state so long, Jesse, I'm 45 now, and I think because I've been in it so long, I mean, I believe deep in my imagination all my life. Angry, just hateful in a lot of ways. And I think that, like you said to a caller before, when you start coming out of that a little bit and you start looking at yourself, Satan gets super busy by telling you, you know, you don't know who you are, Greg. You're going to forget this stuff. This ain't working. God doesn't know what he's doing. If he did, you wouldn't feel this way. And then you get scared because you're believing the thought again, because you're like, man, I really don't know who I am. Like, who am I? And that's a scary feeling to not know who you are when you live 45 years thinking you know you, but you don't know nothing.
Human beings are dumb as a doorknob and don't know it. It's amazing to see that. But stay with it, Greg. It becomes clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer.
Yes, sir. I will. Thank you for your time, sir. Have a good evening.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Amazing. Amazing. 888-7753-773. I want to, before I go back to the phones, I want to show you, talking about my country's never coming back, and that the whites and the blacks who are voting for these people, who are whatever, right, put it in, especially the liberal whites, They're putting all the wrong people in the right places to make sure that the country does not come back. It is South Africa, and it's getting worse, and it's going to get worse, and the white people are going to have to move out to the farmlands. But when you move out there, they're going to follow you there as well. Just like they go up to Beverly Hills, and there in Philadelphia, they go into the beautiful area right there in Chicago and everywhere. Ain't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can't hide from evil. You have to overcome evil. And so I want to show you another perfect example of the wrong people in the right places to make sure that my country doesn't return. And I want to show you an example of what the blacks call black excellence. White people think, which is true, to be independent, to be a free thinker, the Second Amendment, to whatever is freedom, right? To be creative and innovative and creative is the right way, and it is. They think that's white excellence. Here's what black people think is black excellence. This is a woman by the name of Jasmine Crockett, and you're going to see she truly believes in black excellence. They do this in the homes. They do this in the schools. They do it in government. This is what is called black excellence. Not being your best and being independent and not hating and blah, 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 right? This is a perfect example, and you see it in the children, the black children. You see it in the black basketball and football players. You see it in the black teachers. You see it in the churches. You see it everywhere because it is what is believed to be black excellence. This is Jasmine Crockett. CNN is reporting Congressman Jasmine Crockett, a Democrat from Texas, curses in passionate rebuke of impeachment proceeding. Watch this compilation.
Have you ever heard them say if since we've been sitting here for I don't know how long?
I've been taking a tally.
Oh, okay. Can you show us? Can you tell us what the tally is?
More than 35 times the Republican witnesses and Republican members of the committee have used the word if.
Thank you so much for that. Because honestly, if they would continue to say if or Hunter and we were playing a drinking game, I would be drunk by now. And honestly, no one has testified of what crime they believe the president of the United States has committed. But when we start talking about things that look like evidence, they want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me. 23 counts related to forgery or false document statements, 8 counts related to soliciting, and I could go on because he's got 91 counts pending right now. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States.
And they think that just by maintaining that type of decorum that MAGAs and others will respond and do the same, but they don't. And so sometimes you got to make sure that they know that you can bring it as well.
Black excellence. These are the type of people that are raising the black children that are out there robbing and stealing and killing and breaking in stores and carjacking. They came from people like that. Black excellence. Now do you see what I mean when I say that all the wrong people are being put in the right places to make sure my country never returns? That's an evil, evil female. An evil female, and they come a dime a dozen. And white people, you're putting them in your government because you're afraid of being called a name. Now do you believe me when I say my country is never coming back? And it's not racism. Racism does not exist. It's a made-up lie. It's the spirit of the black female like that. Generation and generation of blacks are suffering for the last 50 years or more, give or take, because they have been raised by women like that, females like that. And you put them in government, and they shake their head, they talk loud, they speak fast, and they think they're having an impact. And they are, but for the evil. Satan is their God. It's so bad between the black woman and the black man, it would literally have to take Jesus Christ to come, or not even Jesus, God, to come with the Son in order to restore it. The black man even called that type of woman, female, their queen. They're licking her boots. And it has nothing to do with slavery. It has nothing to do with white supremacy, which doesn't exist, by the way. It has nothing to do with Jim Crow. It has everything to do with an angry spirit. An angry spirit. They are destroying the black generation, not the white man. Not the white man. And that was a time when white people would tell the blacks the truth about that. I'm not your problem, black people. When all the so-called civil rights movement first started, white people were speaking up then. But they gave in. They allowed evil to defeat them. And anger is not only being pushed, not only coming from the blacks. The white people are becoming like the blacks. They're becoming like what they hate. And I say that because the proof is in the pudding. They're afraid to stand up. You're afraid to stand up to what you hate. Meaning you're afraid to disagree. You're afraid to say no. And so the whites are becoming angry too. It's just like every child that's born through the woman become like the mother, the boy and the girl. Boys and girls become like the mother because they resent the mother. They become afraid of her because she imposed her anger, her will upon them and recreate them in her image. And she blame it on the father and make the kids believe it's your daddy. Anger is being pushed as good. I remember the day in America, a time when anger was being pushed as it is, evil, and forgiveness and love were being pushed as good. And America was the light on the hill. Now the light is out, and everybody and their mama are using anger as good. May God have mercy on America. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. And it comes from both sides. And we have a one-party system now. If it wasn't for the Great White Hope, I wouldn't even be voting. I wouldn't even be voting because there's no one to vote for in the Republican Party. There are a few Republican politicians that are pretty tough, they seem. But the Republican Party is no different. So I wouldn't hang my hat on the Republican Party either. They're just, they act like they're upset at Joe Biden and his son for doing, that's all they do now. They're not doing anything about the borders at all. They're agreeing to send more money over to Ukraine. They're agreeing that everything that the Democrats want to do. Because follow the money trail. The Republicans are getting in tune. They don't care. If the Republican Party was a separate party and real Republicans, they would shut the government down. They would not vote to keep it open. They know what's going on, but they don't care. They're no different than the Democrats. So anger is on both sides. It's on both sides. And then they're like, if we shut down the government, the children will go hungry. Those are not your children. If the parents don't care about them, why should you? And it's clear that the mothers don't care about the children. This is from R&R Star. A red-faced Mike Bost showed little restraint when he unleashed a furious rant about the way the Democrats run the state. Watch this from X.
Not the American way. These damn bills that come out here all the damn time come out here at the last second, and I gotta try to figure out how to vote for my people every year. We give power to one person. It was not made that way in the Constitution. He was around when it was written. Now we passed rules that stop each one of us. Enough! Feel like somebody trying to be released from Egypt. Let my people go! My God, they sent me here to vote for them, but I'm trapped. I'm trapped by rules that have been forced down our throats.
That's what happens when you become angry. You lose it. That's not the way to deal with it either. You lose it. You become like what you hate. And the Democrats see him acting that way, might boast acting that way. He gave them a false sense of life. He gives them a false sense of life. They feel good about that, and they're going to keep doing it. Just like in your world, in your own little private world, in your own private world, whomever can make you angry, you give them life over you. They feel good about it, and they're sitting back seeing how to do that even more so. So you become worse than the one you gave that you became angry at. This is another example of my country not returning. Yelling and screaming and throwing up paper is not the solution. It's not the answer. In the midst of a storm, you're supposed to be still. You're not supposed to overreact. I was watching this on the some channel. I was watching about the life of serial killers. And they were interviewing this one Smithsonian station or something like that. They were interviewing this one man, and they wanted to know, how did you become a serial killer? He didn't know. He didn't know. He said that he was out one night. He met someone, and he went over there to their home to hang out for a minute. And the person said, hey, you can turn on the TV and watch a video while I'm going to go and do some stuff here. He put the video into the TV thing, and he was watching the video, and he was shocked. And he overreacted in the shock because it reminded him of something he had forgotten that happened in his life. And he would overreact to it. And the next thing he knew, he had killed the man that owned the TV station that invited him over. He killed the guy, didn't even know why. And from that point forward, he traveled from state to state, city to city, killing people. It just gave him a sense of life. And he didn't want to do it, but he literally could not help it. And he did not understand why he was doing it. He didn't understand, but he overreacted to the video. And he just got more, the desire to kill became more and more and more. He ended up killing 6 people in different states because he would commit a murder in one state and he would leave there and go quickly to another one so that he didn't get caught. And when they finally caught him, they asked, "Are you glad to be caught?" He said, "Yeah. I'm glad to be caught so the killing can stop." He said, "I'm glad to be caught so the killing can stop." He could not stop himself. And that's every human being on this side of heaven. You can't stop yourself. It needs to be stopped by overcoming evil, by overcoming anger, because it's not you. It's something that made a home in you, and it stays alive because you're always overreacting to something. In your mind and in your body, you overreact. You either become too happy or too angry. Both are evil. And this thing drives you. You must be born again of the Spirit of the Father. He didn't know, and then the so-called experts didn't know either. They were just dumb about it. They didn't know it was a spiritual thing that was driving this man, just like you don't know it's a spiritual thing driving you. You think it's you. And you take credit for it. You feel guilty about it. You judge yourself and others, and you end up repeating it because of it. But if you could see that it's not you, you wouldn't repeat it. It'd be done. It was so interesting watching that man talk about. It was the same spirit that drives everybody with anger. That's why I've said every human being is 2 hoops and a holler from becoming Jeffrey Dahmer. Every human being. It doesn't matter the color. Christ himself said, anyone with anger is a murderer. You can't trust an angry person. I don't care who it is. Look how your mama treats you when you go and forgive her. She become your bitter enemy. And she go out and build an army against you, more bitter enemies who you never even did anything to. But they take her side instead of taking no side. I don't want to be a part of this, mama. I want my country back, but it's not coming back. But you can be free in a messed up world around you, because your world inside of you can be free and you can live from there if you want to. Or you can suffer inwardly and outwardly. It's up to you. Remember when America was a Christian country? I don't think the millennials remember, but the old folks do. That's gone now. It's all a showcase now. America is now a showcase. It's no longer a Christian nation. 888-7753-773. Let me take a quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. Okay, check out our merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. Amazing merch. We got a lot of other good stuff coming up for you as well. Mugs, T-shirts. And it's getting cold. We even have the Great White Hope mug face on a T-shirt, on a mug, a hoodie. Amazing. rebuildingtheman.com/store. And if you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. By phone, Skype, or walk in, go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And yes, people ask me all the time now, do you sign your books? I want to buy your books. And my books are amazing. I highly recommend them. The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. 7 guaranteed steps to spiritual, family, and financial success. Scam, how the black community, how the black leadership exploits black America. And from race to responsibility. I recommend them, and I do sign them. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/store or call 800-411-BOND. All right, 800-411-BOND. And I didn't realize, but people tell me a lot too. You never tell people how to donate to your nonprofit and all that. But I thought I did. I guess I don't do it a lot. But thank you for your support. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-BOND, all right, to donate. And I appreciate it. We've been around now for 34 years. I forgot which one, but a long time. It's been a long time, my friend. Let me go to Scott. And so thank you all for your support. A first-time caller out of Michigan. Scott, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, JLP, how are you?
All is well, Scott.
So I just wanted to give you a call. You know, I'm going through a situation right now where I unfortunately had sex out of wedlock. I know you recommend against. And it was only one time, and she got pregnant. And the baby is almost a year old now. We are engaged, but she's like refusing to get married. She's got some commitment issues. I think, she's extremely close with her mama, and I am kind of at a loss for what to do. I think her mom and her are a little bit codependent in the sense that they're always there together. They're kind of robbing me of my fatherly responsibilities. Like I said, she's delayed getting married. There's no date in place. And I'm just kind of looking to see what advice you would give, whether or not it's worth continuing to pursue, or if I should just kind of move on and make the best life for my baby as I can and try and start fighting for custody, etc.
Number one, why are you engaged to her?
So we got engaged. Literally, I bought the ring for her the day we found out she was pregnant. There are some issues, so I'm a Christian, she's Catholic, and there are definitely some differences there with religion, and so it's not to say everything's perfect, but we got engaged, trying to do the best thing for the child, and she actually broke off the engagement subsequently, probably about 2 months afterwards. Then we got engaged, we got engaged again after he was born, probably a couple months after he was born.
So you asked her to marry you again when she broke it off?
No, she just kind of took the ring back.
And why are you engaged to her?
I think, so I definitely love her. I think,
You say you love her?
I'm not yeah, I think I definitely love her.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think she kind of is an anomaly in the sense that she's not like these typical modern women.
Everything you said about it is just like them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right in the sense she has some.
But why are you saying she's
tendencies
not like the typical modern woman when she is?
Well, I think she has a lot of values that are.
Speak up, Scott. Speak into your phone and a little louder.
I think she has a lot of values that are against the modern culture. She's Republican, and she is not a feminist at all. There's a lot of things that she has going for her, and I also don't want to understate the importance of having an intact family. I think that's extremely important, and I'm just kind of trying to do what I think is best for all three of us.
So this woman, according to you, can't break away from her mama. She won't break away. She could, but she is not breaking away from her mama, right?
Correct.
She doesn't want to set a date for the wedding, right?
Yeah, not yet.
She called off the she called off the wedding, right?
There was
and so Scott,
engagement.
I'm sorry.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry.
And so how is she different from any other woman? Just because she's a Republican, it sounds like she has the same spirit that a feminists have. How is she different?
Well, I think you're right in a lot of ways.
No, I'm asking you how. I'm asking how is she different?
Yeah, like I said, she's not a feminist. I think
she is a feminist. What is not feminist about her? She won't obey you. She called off the engagement. She's not breaking away from her mother to be with you. Why is she not a feminist?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you put it that way, you can definitely make the argument that she is.
But why are you saying she's not?
I'm saying she's not because, a lot of her words and her beliefs, and she's a very family-oriented person. Obviously, a little too much, I think, with her biological family. But I think she really is a great mom, and she's extremely, like I said, against feminist culture. She dresses
How is she
modestly.
extremely against it when is her action different than her words?
I think, like I said, I think she dresses in a modest way.
Is her
She's,
action different than her words?
I don't think so. I think
she called off the engagement.
Well, we were dating for such a short period
She
of
will
time.
not. She will not depart from her mother. She will not set a date for the wedding. She's not obeying you. How is that different than any other feminist?
So then, what would you say my course of action should be?
You need to come out of your head and stop listening to the lies of thoughts, because all you're doing is you're in prison of your imagination, and you're getting these answers from the imagination, which will always be wrong. And I understand it. But you're looking for the answer in thoughts, and all you're doing is getting deeper into hell. That woman is going to give you nothing but hell. Will she obey you?
She is definitely not as submissive as I would like her to be. That's for
So
sure.
why are you marrying a woman, or even considering marrying a woman that will not obey you? You see, the trouble is right there, but you're ignoring it. Why is that?
I think, like I said, I really value having an intact household for the sake of, my child. And
what is an intact household?
Like a family unit, like a husband and a wife, and I just think that is what is the cause of healthy children at the end of the day.
Do you know any family, husband and wife, that have healthy children?
I mean, I guess not. I do know that many have extremely unhealthy children.
And so why do you think that's going to work for you then?
Well, I think when you look at, just the outcomes of children when they're in homes that have two parents, they tend to do way better. Is that not
Way
true?
better than what?
Than homes that are broken.
Do you know any family that is not broken and the children are doing way better?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Do you know any family where the children are doing well, way better?
I know that there are children who do way better with two parents.
How do you know that?
I mean, just from, I guess you could say it's anecdotal, but just the people I interact with who are from homes with two parents tend to be more well-adjusted than
in what way?
Parents, and they're just more socially adept. They are they tend to not be involved in violent crimes.
Do you know anyone like that?
Do I know anyone who
are any children that came from two parents and they're way better today?
Yeah, I think I do.
And
then people who would come from a one-parent.
Have you noticed that those
so.
children? I understand the principle of what you're saying, but that doesn't exist in America today. It exists in the old school, but not today. The kids today are angry. They have fear. They have doubt. They have a degree,
definitely.
but they're still miserable.
I think you're 100% correct. I'm not disagreeing with
And that's
the
what's going to
general
happen.
malaise.
Scott, you're getting involved with a woman that you know it ain't going to turn out well, and yet you're doing it, and you're making up all these excuses in your head.
I think that's kind of reason for my call. I'm trying to work through a lot of these issues, and I don't think it's, I mean, obviously this is all from the mistake of having sex at a wedlock. So it's my mistake to begin with, but
That doesn't mean you got to make it worse by getting married to a woman that's not going to obey you. All you're going to do is argue and fight and destroy the child even more so.
You don't think if I was there, I'd be able to protect him from the woman's destruction?
No, not at all.
You think I would just be dragged into it?
100%, because look at you now. You can't even make this woman leave her mama. You can't make her set a wedding date. You can't make her stay engaged. You have no control now. Why do you think you're going to have control after you get married?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. I think you're right about that. It's
No,
just
that was a
about
question.
whether-
That was a question. Why do you think you're going to have control after you marry when you don't have it now?
I don't. I'm not claiming to be able to control her, unfortunately.
So why would you
She's,
even consider for a second marrying something like that?
like I said, it's just the fact of trying to create an environment for my child that is healthier than being alone with his mom, his mama.
But the environment is going to get worse if you marry her, because you're going to be two devils living together fighting all the time, and she's going to the hatred that she has for you, she's going to pass that on to your child.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resentment that's built up as a result of this.
And yet you want to marry her.
I think that's, like I said, it's just because of the fact of wanting to remain with my child as much as possible, and creating an environment where he can still have a dad around as much as he can. And
You have a better chance. Do what you want, of course, but you have a better chance maybe having that by not marrying her, because once you marry her, all hell going to break loose, even worse than what has already happened.
So you would recommend then just cutting it off?
I would recommend that you stop believing the lies of the imagination, because the devil is sending you right into hell, and he's giving you all these fancy ideas. Oh, it's better to be married for the child so you can be there for the child. Forget about this woman has already given you hell. Forget about the fact that she's not going to leave her mother. Forget about the fact that her mother's going to take over and make it even worse. Forget about the fact that she's not obeying you. She's ever telling you, forget about that. Do it this way. It's going to be better. And you believe in more lies. And it sounds so good to say, oh, I just think we should be married because it's better to I stay with my child and all that. That ain't going to work. You have a woman that will not obey you. You can't change her.
Yeah. Do you think I should continue to try to see if, we can negotiate the terms of the relationship, or do you think it's just too far gone?
What does that mean?
Like negotiate the terms of the relationship in the sense of, seeing if she'd be able to, one, break away from her mama, and two, start to be more of a submissive wife and mother, and kind of let me take the lead.
Let you take it? You think any woman going to let you take the lead? What the fact... The fact that you need her to let you take the lead is proof that you ain't going to take the lead.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And how you going to negotiate someone being right? You can't negotiate her being right. She either have to be right or she's not. You can't make another person be right through negotiation.
The problem is, Jesse, is that the women nowadays are so far gone that it's almost like choosing between the lesser of two evils. And it feels like as much as she's got her issues, I'm not claiming to be perfect at all, obviously, but as much as she got her issues, I feel like she's better than what's going to be out there, and it's worth trying to mend this relationship, especially when considering, like I said, the child factor.
How are you going to mend a relationship with an evil person?
Like I said, it feels like every woman out there now is.
Why are you choosing? Why are you looking for a woman at this point?
Well, I think, we're supposed to have, a helper. I think.
Who told you that? Helped you to do what?
I think women are.
You want her to help push you around in a wheelchair eventually?
I just think I don't think men are supposed to be alone necessarily, especially once they.
Do you think you're supposed to be looking for a woman?
No, I mean.
Well, why are you looking?
I'm not necessarily out there looking, especially not right now.
Are you looking before you found this? And were you looking?
I would say I was actively dating. Yeah, looking, however you want to call it.
Well, you found the devil.
I look and I found.
You look and you found. You should only seek the kingdom of heaven in his right way, and he will add a woman unto you if it's meant to be, and it will be the right one. But if you have some idea of what kind of woman you want and you out there looking, all you're going to ever find is the devil, daughter, and she will destroy you and your children. And then you'll make up excuses. Oh, we got a baby now. Oh, somehow let's negotiate. You can't negotiate with the devil.
Well, you make a good point, and it's kind of something that's obviously been on my mind too. It's not like you're saying something that I haven't thought. It's just, I'm trying to weigh the pros and cons of this decision and try to make the best decision, obviously, for my son.
You can't weigh and the pros and cons when you're dealing with evil. You have to see your way out of evil, how to overcome it. You can't. The devil is evil, and he's not going to change. And you can't weigh some pros and cons with evil. You want to see evil so you can overcome it. And you're seeing it, and rather than overcome it, you're getting deeper into it.
So even though she understands, so we've had these conversations before about, submission, the importance of it. She understands that it's something that needs to happen, but she's also saying, well, that's for a husband and wife, and we're not married yet. And
she doesn't understand it, because if she understood it already, there would be no conversation about it.
Right. Okay. Well, I have some good stuff to work with. I appreciate your insight.
What do you have to work with right now? Are you able to hold, Scott?
Yeah, I can hold.
Oh, hold on. Let me take a break. When I come back, I'm going to move calls, folks, and super chats as well. 888-7753-773. One more hour to go. Back in a moment, folks. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh well, You may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Maui aftermath. Residents returning to see their damage. Canada's still burning, sending smoke down to the U.S. And there was a Spain nightclub fire that killed at least 13 hospital employees in America with Kaiser Permanente. They may go on strike. And Tupac's alleged killer mastermind or killer orderer has been arrested. This is the end of Hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Monday. As I said, everybody loves Mondays, right? October 2nd, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 3. Last hour with JLP is coming right up. The lines are full, guys, but he will get to your calls. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, thehakereport.com. After Hake at noon Pacific time, Pacific Daylight Time, American Anchor Baby on YouTube and Rumble. Check it out. He was live on Friday and Saturday afternoons. Very nice. Very cool. Of course, we do have the men's forum, guys. First Thursday of the month, October 5th, 2023 AD, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Rebuildingtheman.com/events. Nearly 2 months, according to CNN, after wildfires tore through Maui, Hawaii. Several burn zones in Lahaina will reopen today for property owners, if they haven't already, right? To survey the destruction left behind. What is it? It's going on 5 a.m. there? Something like that. It will be the first time that many families, so-called, see what remains of their homes and businesses. But on an inspiring note, Lahaina, their historic 150-year-old banyan tree that was charred in the flames, is sprouting new green leaves, giving hope that all was not completely lost. So nice. Meanwhile, Canada, at least 50 wildfires burning in Ontario, Canada. Not to be confused with California, Ontario, California. There isn't a city that called that. As Canadian officials grapple with the country's worst fire season on record. And they've had decades to be all environmentalist. Maybe that's the problem. Forecasters say that plumes of smoke in the region will continue to waft south, bringing haze to cities like New York, or cities in New York State and Massachusetts State early this week. Spain nightclub, at least 13 people killed in Spain's deadliest nightclub fire in decades. Officials fear the death toll could rise. The cause of the blaze broke out early Sunday morning at the theater venue, or Teatre venue, in the southeastern city of Murcia, something like that. Murcia is not yet known the cause of the blaze. Several others were hospitalized due to smoke inhalation, say emergency officials. The city's mayor declared 3 days of mourning. Rescuers are searching the rubble for more victims. The fire in Murcia marks the deadliest nightclub fire in Spain in 33 years. I didn't know that was apparently not a common thing, right? A blaze in 1990 at a nightclub in northeastern Zaragoza left 43 dead. Wow. And in the hospitals in America, more than 75,000 healthcare workers in the U.S. could strike Wednesday, potentially affecting dozens of Kaiser Permanente facilities in California, Oregon, Washington State, Colorado, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. The unionized so-called workers are asking for across-the-board raises, additional job protections, better benefits, and a plan from Kaiser to address staffing shortage crisis, quote-unquote crisis, that has left employees feeling overworked. Maybe they should relax some of the vax mandates, perhaps, maybe. Experts say patients at the impacted facilities would still likely feel the effects of the strike. Wow. The workers who would walk out for 3 days include nurses, therapists, technicians, pharmacists, janitorial staff, among other roles. And meanwhile, Tupac Shakur's family may get justice. He has kids? Nope. Marriage was annulled within less than a year when he was in prison. Last week, Las Vegas police arrested 60-year-old Dwayne Keith D. Davis for the alleged 1996 killing of the rapper. Case went unsolved for years, but Davis spoke about his involvement in the murder in a 2019 memoir. And so 27 years later, they arrest the guy. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. My biblical question, brand new biblical question for this week. Brand new. And it's a doozy. When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? When you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something? Amazing biblical question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show if you're busy working out, making or having breakfast or lunch and dinner somewhere in the world, or walking or whatever you're doing, laying up at the beach or whatever, swimming across the border or whatever, riding on a train, coming into our country, whatever. You can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. Follow us, JLP Talk, on Twitter, or better known as X now, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, and all that. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, or Bond JLP on Cash App, Bond JLP on Cash App, or rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. I want to go back to the first time call out of Michigan, Scott. And according to Scott, he has this baby now by a woman he's dating. They got engaged. She broke it off. They got back. She won't agree to a wedding date. She won't leave her mama. And Scott trying to figure out, and she won't obey Scott. But yet he's trying to figure out, oh, what should I do? So, Scott.
Yep.
Can you tell me, can you tell me one good reason why you should marry her?
The one good reason why I should marry her is to keep my son with a father in the home as much as humanly possible.
And if she will not obey you, what makes you think that's going to happen?
What makes me think that I'll still be able to be in the home?
Yes.
Well, if we get married, then I'll be in the home.
No, you won't.
I know she's.
You'll be there for a minute because she and her mother is not going to allow that to happen.
So my plan was to, eventually buy a house away from her mom, because right now she's living right next to her. And I think that if we were able to get our own place, I'd be able to kind of influence her decisions more, and kind of steer her away from the mom.
That's not going to happen. Her mother will move into your house if you move away. Why do you think she's going to move away from her mother with you?
Well, that's like the plan as of right now. Is to like
that's your plan, but not hers.
Well, that's her. She's told me that she would want to do that, like get a house. She'd still want to be like, I'm sure, like in the general area of her mom within like probably 15, 20 minutes. But
so she's not leaving her mama there. You can move to West Hell and the mama will come there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think her mom is always going to be a part of the picture, unfortunately. This is kind of the same thing that her sister is married, and it's kind of a similar situation where the mom is just so ingrained in the family that she just kind of is always around, and I don't know how to combat that. I think what you're saying is there is no way to combat that and to just kind of give up and let her live in her hell. But I also think that I at least owe it to my son to try and make it work and do the best I can to fight that. And I don't know if the alternative is going to be better for him. I think it's going to be worse for him because he'll be more coddled by the mom and more influenced by the family as a whole. Whereas if I'm there, I can exert my influence. And
is this woman black?
She white.
Is she a black woman?
No, she white.
Oh, she's white. And are you white?
I'm white, yeah.
Scott, if you marry this woman, I can predict your future.
Okay, let me hear it.
She and her mother will defeat you. They will destroy your child. They will take your home. They will throw you out. They'll make you go to court, and the lawyer will rip you off. And then if you are fortunate enough to get any visitation right, they'll make that difficult for you and have to go their way or no way at all, and you'll be miserable.
Well, we've already talked about court, pretty soon before he was born. We talked about court, and we decided we were not going to go to court. We wanted to continue to try and make it work. I don't think she would take me to court. I think she's afraid of court, to be honest. She doesn't want to go to court.
That's what you're thinking, and you believe the woman.
I think she knows that it would mean that I would get some guaranteed, overnights, visitation, and that would take him away from her.
You're in a pipe dream, man. The court is not on your side.
Well, I have some friends who've had similar situations.
Why would you marry a woman already predicting that that's even possible?
Well, you got to be prepared for the worst, right? I don't want to go in there blind.
But you are going in there blind. That's why you're prepared for the worst. Because if you could see, you would not be going into it.
Well, I haven't gone into it yet, and I'm still, weighing all those factors, and that's why I'm trying to. I kind of had a feeling you would tell me to just kind of leave her and, let her.
I didn't tell you to leave her.
Well, that's kind of what I feel you're saying. What are you saying?
Here's what I'm saying. You need to start working on you so you can see clear. Because right now, you're in your imagination and you're listening to evil and thinking that it's working out your situation where it's only creating a deeper, darker situation for you. The very thought that hooked you up with this woman is the very thought that's setting you up to be destroyed by this woman. You're listening to the devil. You need to start working on yourself and take it one day at a time. Don't push this marriage thing at all. Work on you so you can see and you will see the right way to go. Right now, you're not seeing the right thing to go. Everything you've said is emotional and what you've been taught.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. It's been difficult to try and withhold my emotions in this situation. There's just so much energy that's gone into it, so much time. I mean, I'm working 2 jobs to try and, give him the best life I can. I'm sending her money, obviously. And I just feel like I am working on myself and just trying to make the best.
Working
decision.
2 jobs and giving your son money and stuff is not going to make his life better. Your son needs a father and a mother that doesn't have anger in their hearts.
Yeah.
Money ain't going to do it. It's just going to spoil him or whatever, but it ain't going to make his life better at all. Not one iota.
Yeah, and that's been the difficult part. I'm not able to see him as much as I would like,
Why not?
Well, because of these time commitments I have, I'm not living with her. We wanted to wait till we're married to start living together.
Oh, but you made the baby without being married. What else can happen?
Yeah, but would you say compounding a mistake with another one is the best?
No, but that's what
you
you're doing by marrying this woman at this time.
Well, we haven't gotten married yet, and like I said, we're still in a stage of trying to see if it could even work.
How old are you?
But 29.
And how old is she?
29.
Amazing. So here's what I recommend because of time. Have you gone and forgiven your mother yet?
I have, yeah.
How did that go?
It was good. I think just from my perspective, she didn't really understand it totally.
She understood it. She just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah, I think you're right. But, we have had our ups and downs in terms of our relationship. I love my parents very much. Don't get me wrong. But I think it was good to get that off my chest, and I can kind of move forward from that. She's like kind of the opposite of my fiance's mother. She's like the opposite of overbearing. She kind of just lets me do what I think is right at the time, and she doesn't really.
You're 29 years old. She has no business being involved in your life, period. But
Yeah,
let me ask.
no, I think.
Are you doing? You forgave your father as well?
I didn't necessarily forgive my father. No, I've never heard you talk about that. I've just heard about forgiving the mother.
Do you hold anything against your father?
I think my father is, honestly, he's like my best friend. I think he's
good.
A great guy. He's always provided. He always, he steered me towards God as much as possible. I was in church every Sunday. I'm not saying that's the be-all, end-all, but I think he did the best he could do.
Here's what are you doing the silent prayer?
I haven't done it for months, if I'm being honest.
Well, no wonder. What the? Here's what I recommend, Scott. For a year, do not discuss getting married. I'm not telling you to break up with her, but do not get married. You're not in the right position, in your mind and emotions to get married at this point. This woman will not obey you. It's going to be trouble. I recommend you stay engaged if you want to, but do not get married. I recommend for 1 year you do the silent prayer and watch those thoughts so you can see what to do. And the light of God will guide you, and you will see what to do, and you will not go wrong.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a good plan. And if things don't change in that year, you think then it's at that point time to discuss the co-parenting relationship.
If you do the silent prayer every morning, every night, and during the day, practice staying present, meaning don't be lost in the past or the future, and stay present, bring your mind back with your body, you will see what to do without question. It will be clear.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time, Jesse Lee Pearson. This has been something I've been meaning to do for a while. Big fan, and I appreciate everything you do, specifically advocating for men and bringing them to God.
Do you know that all your thoughts are all lies all the time? Do you see that yet?
I see that in certain circumstances. Yeah, I don't want to be someone who doesn't think at all, but I can see the temptation to think and then convince yourself a lie is true.
Why do you, and that's what you're doing right now, and why do you not want to be the person that don't think at all? Why don't you want to live a think or no thinking free life rather than a thinking enslaved life?
I don't know how I can come to like logical conclusions or anything like that if I don't think,
But you're not coming to any logical conclusion by thinking. Why you think one day you will?
Well, I can definitely try it. I've always been I've been in my head always,
right?
Just always been that way. But
why do you think there are logical conclusions in your imagination?
Well, I think God gifts us with logic, and I think He makes it so we can come to those conclusions. And
God never done that. You're accusing God wrongly.
You don't think He gifted us with logic?
No.
No.
And it's not in your imagination, period.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I need to, try and come up with a better solution than overthinking. But I don't necessarily know how to go about that either.
Do the silent prayer so He will bring you out of those thoughts, and you will see that they are not yours, and eventually you will stop trusting them, and eventually they will disappear. Because they're all from the devil. You're consulting with the devil, and you're calling it logic from God.
Well, I'm trying to base my logic in the framework of, God's word and the Bible and all those things.
What does that mean?
So, my whole idea of trying to be like a family or not living together before marriage, I feel like those are all things that are based in Christianity, and I'm trying to use that framework as
it's never going to work that way. Never. You can't make that happen out of your imagination. You can't. God's word is in your heart. The word from God is in the Bible, but His words are in your heart, in the kingdom of heaven within. And you're not looking there. You're looking in the Bible, and you're looking in your imagination, and you're getting all the wrong answers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here's what I recommend, Scott. Do the silent prayer. Commit to it. So you can come out of your darkness, the darkness. Do the silent prayer for a year. Don't talk to this woman about marriage. Don't even mention it again. Stay engaged if you like, but don't mention the marriage thing. And don't seem desperate, like you got to marry her. You work on you so you can see the right thing to do.
Okay. Yep, I'll definitely do that. I'll maybe once it's all figured out, I'll give you a call again and give you an update.
All right. But work on your stuff right now. How about your son? She is a Republican. She's not a feminist. She is a feminist. She may be Republican, but she's a feminist too. Work on you right now, Scott. You're not ready to be married at all.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
But I want you to see that for yourself, not just because I said it. If you don't see it for yourself, you're going to repeat it.
No, I see it for myself. It's just about, trying to put those thoughts into action,
You can't put them in action. You have to overcome them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good word. I'll continue to try and release myself from these emotions and thoughts. I don't want to be an emotional woman at the end of the day.
But that's what you're doing. You have the mindset of your mother right now. You have the same mindset that this woman has that you're engaged to.
Yeah, I think you're right. And she's probably feeling like she's dating a woman.
So do the silent prayer. Commit to it. Don't let anything get in the way of that. Get up and do it. rebuildingtheman.com/prayer or silentprayer.video. Do that for 1 year. Stay engaged if you like, but do not marry. Don't buy no house and let her move in. Yes, she'll take it from you and all that good stuff. So right now, work on you, all right?
All right. I appreciate the input, Jesse Lee. Thanks so much.
All right. Let me know how it goes.
All right. We'll do.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right. What a mess, huh? That's what happened. You're in a cage, and you're going around in that cage, and the devil's telling you to try this, try that. You listen to the very thing that's setting you up to fail. You listen to evil. Alex, there's a line open, 888-775-3773. Alex out of California. Alex, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well.
All right, so I'll make it quick here. In 2020, I had my own business that I spent many years building up to get shut down in the COVID lockdowns and destroyed completely. Since then, I've pretty much lost all my friends and my family because I'm the only one who chose to not be vaccinated. And I'm just basically throughout these 3 years, I've been having to cope with my anger. I got heavily addicted to marijuana. Right now, I'm working on kind of phasing that out. It's just not really making me relax as much as I wish it could anymore. Doesn't work as it used to. I just wanted to know, basically, at this point in my life, I can't really trust anybody, and I don't really know what to do next. Like right now, I'm living on my own. I have a normal job, but it's not what I was trying to do. So I'm kind of like a clean slate right now, but I just don't really know what to do next, and I'm having a hard time dropping that anger and mistrust with everybody.
And your question for me is what?
How can I stop judging people and being angry that they're all vaccinated and I'm not?
Why are you angry at them?
Different consequences.
Why are you angry at them?
What's that?
Why are you angry at them?
I was mocked a lot for not taking the vaccine, and people basically just not respecting that. I lost my career and home and everything. And
so why are you angry at them?
Because they went along with it instead of going against it like I did.
But why would you be angry at them for doing what they want to do? And they seem to be angry at you for doing what you want to do, and you're angry at them for doing what they want to do. Why are you angry at them for doing what they wanted to do?
I feel like they're basically cowards.
And why are you angry at them about that? You're no better than them. You're doing exactly to them what they've done to you.
Right. It's devils fighting devils. That's what I understand.
So why are you angry at somebody else for doing what they want to do?
I'm angry at somebody else for doing what they want to do. That is a good question. I don't have an answer for that, but all I know is
you don't like the
people
fact
that I used to trust, and now I just think they're cowards.
You don't like the fact that they're angry at you for doing what you wanted to do, right?
No, they're not. They're not angry at me. I'm angry at them for not standing up against it.
I know, but Alice, does that make sense for you to be angry at them for doing what they wanted to do? It's not your body, it's theirs. Why are you angry at somebody else for doing what they want to do? What right do you have to be angry at someone else?
I guess I don't.
So why do it? All you're doing is hurting yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like a few weeks back, I remember you talking about friendship and how friendship isn't, what we expect it to be. I kind of learned that through this process, but also with my family too. It's just weird, Jesse, when you all of a sudden have nobody to trust. You know what I mean?
But you can't be trusted. You're angry at them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't trust an angry person. You're the one with the anger. You can't be trusted, but you're accusing them and calling them cowards and everything, and they can't be trusted. But you're the one can't be trusted. You're angry at them. Why don't you see what's going on with you before you look at them?
Well, I guess, to be honest, I'm just angry that I lost my career that I worked really hard for in my business.
What good is it doing you to be angry about that?
It's not helping. That's why I'm calling you.
So why don't you drop the anger, period, so you can see how to do your business over again, start again?
Because it's not like a magic button you press. It's something I'm working on daily.
It's one step. What the anger?
Yeah.
Oh, here's what are you doing the silent prayer?
I'm not. I was going to look into that, though.
You've never done it before?
No, I haven't actually even heard it quite yet. But I'm guessing it's similar to meditation, but a little bit different.
It's not a meditation. It's totally watching your thoughts. You're not controlling anything. You're watching the thoughts. You're not a part of them. Here's what I recommend. You do the silent prayer so you can come out of your imagination, because you're the one bringing the problems upon yourself by listening to the devil for being angry at somebody else for deciding to do something you didn't want to do, and you act like you have a right to be mad at them for doing what they wanted to do.
Okay. I just, people thinking it's okay to shut other people's businesses down for, an experimental vaccine.
Just like you think it's okay to be angry at someone for doing what they want to do, taking the shot. So you're judging.
Yeah, I do, actually.
You're judging them, and yet you're being judged.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to not judge, but I literally, every person I come in contact to, the first thing I want to know is, are you vaccinated, basically.
Well, why? That's silly too.
I guess it's silly, but that's where I'm at right now.
Well, do the silent prayer, Alex. Do the silent prayer morning and night, and start working on you so the spirit of the devil, because that's what that is, will be taken away from you, all right?
Mm-hmm. I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, because you can't make yourself not be angry. It's enough to see that you are and want to overcome it. And if you do the silent prayer and watch, have you forgiven your mother?
Yeah, we've done all that. I'm living on my own and everything.
Oh, okay.
All that stuff.
Well, do the silent prayer so that the Father can bring you out of the darkness, and stop judging people for anything. Just as you can't help yourself, they cannot help themselves either.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same spirit.
That's a hard one. I'm gonna have to tackle that one.
It's the same spirit, man. So do the silent prayer. Let me know how it goes.
All right, I appreciate that, Jesse.
All right, buddy.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. That's amazing. You ain't got no business being angry at anyone about anything, because you're doing it to yourself. How you going to be angry, call these people those names, oh, they did this, they did that. What the? And everybody he meet, he got to ask them that they take the shot. Now, you know you're crazy. Do the silent prayer, buddy. Jose is out of Ohio. Let's see here. Jose been waiting a long time. Jose, welcome to the show.
Hello, sir. How are you?
All is well.
Sir, I need your help immediately.
What's going on?
Sir, I need your counseling services immediately, as fast as I can.
Hold on, buddy.
I'm having trouble.
Hold on. Let me take a quick break, and I'll come back to you. 888, that's one line open, 888-7753. 888-773-8877-Jesse. A quick break, back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Okay, folks, welcome back. 888-775-3773. 888-77-Jesse. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. All right? Check out our merch at rebuildingtheman.com/store. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. And men, the men's forum this Thursday night. This is the first Thursday of the month coming up. Can you imagine? At 7 p.m. every first Thursday night of the month for men only, and third Thursday night for ladies only, Sunday mornings for everybody and their mama. We're going to get to your super chats here in a minute. I want to go to Jose out of Ohio. Jose, thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Sir, how are you, sir?
All is well.
That's amazing, sir. This is my second time speaking to you,
yes.
Talking. My family has gone insane and wild, full of anger, hatred, resentment, fear, all types of worries, and all types of things, sir. I just need your help, sir.
When you say you have family, meaning your wife and kids?
No, sir, just meaning parents and their children and their boyfriends and girlfriends and their, fake husbands and things.
And how is it affecting you?
Well, sir, I just got out of jail, sir, for a few different charges.
Right.
That I couldn't help myself with.
Yes.
That they were alleged, and right now I'm going through a difficult time.
And so your question for me is what?
Sir, I need counseling, sir, and I need to inform my officer that I have the best counseling service I can never present to him.
Okay, here's what I want you to do today. Call the office and set up a counseling appointment, and we'll get that going for you.
Sir, the thing is, I'm having trouble paying because my enemies are in my family, and I want the best access, the best results, the best verification, and the best proofs.
Okay,
And
well,
I told my family you're the best guy who can.
well, here's what we do. We won't charge you.
Everything
We won't charge you. Once you get working and doing what you need to do, then you can donate. But don't worry about that.
Yes, sir, I have.
All right.
I've donated to church.
Okay.
You know I love you, sir, with all my heart, mind, and soul.
Well, listen. Don't worry about the charge, and let the guy know when you contact your office. Let them know I said there'll be no charge for you. All right.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You have the office number?
I need it.
Here's, write this down.
Yes, sir. I need you more than anything and anybody.
Write the office down. 323?
Yes, sir.
323-782-1980.
1980.
Right. And let them know that you want to set up an appointment. You spoke to me already, and we're not going to charge you for it, all right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson.
You're welcome, buddy.
I love you so much. When can I speak to you?
Well, call the office, and because I'll let them know to expect you to call, and we'll try to get you in as quickly as possible because it is pretty backed up, but we'll try to work something out for you, all right?
Yes, sir. I left the voicemail at the bond at the rebuildingtheman.com.
Right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Call me, and we'll set it up real soon.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Amazing. 888-775-3773. Super chat.
Super chats.
I gotta catch up with the super chats, and then we get back to the calls.
Did you happen to open the treasure chest already?
Oh, the treasure chest is now open on D-Line.
Nice.
Nice. How come you see lower than James and you're taller than James?
Oh, because he's... I don't know.
I got
he like this.
Yeah, I sit up real straight and tall.
Wait, we need a drum roll for this.
Amazing. Amazing. Joel is back. He's back. He's
Hey. Chat. What's up, chat?
Who's chat?
The
That's
people in
your
the chat.
audience.
Live
Yeah.
chat. Rock.
Chat GBT.
I'll read the first one because I know where we left off.
Okay.
Rocky the Mexican bought 3 coffees. The Great Black Hope. You have pointed me to God, sir, forever grateful. JC, please write a book on how to live the Christian life when it comes to money, life, God, and purpose. Keep it up. What the?
What the? Thank you. A good suggestion. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to try to read this through this right now because this is like...
You can read the 7 Guaranteed Steps in the meantime.
Oh,
To
yeah.
Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide.
I highly recommend you start out with that. The 7 Guaranteed Step. All right? Go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. All right? And I will sign it for you as well. Thank you.
Big Daddy Trump bought a coffee.
Thank you.
It says, this is for the live church, hopefully / answering biblical questions. So he's answering the biblical question.
This week?
Yesterday's.
The reality one.
What is real reality?
Yeah, and he says reality is different to each person. For one person, their reality is a flat earth, and another person's reality is a globe. The sky is blue for one, and the sky is yellow for some. Reality is a thought, and all thoughts are lies. Reality does not exist beyond our thoughts and imagination.
Amazing. Check out yesterday's fellowship, and we had all kind of input about it as well. So rebuildingtheman.com/church. All right, thank you.
Greenwald bought 5 coffees. As Jesus died, the commander stood by and watched him closely and said, truly, this man was the Son of God. Jesus had turned down the drugged wine, but shown no anger or fear, and his final words had been, my God, for this I was kept, often mistranslated. In the earliest depiction of Jesus, a man Roman salutes and, quote-unquote,
Say it.
Ass, which is a donkey.
Ask.
On the, not ask.
Oh, what?
ASS, like the donkey.
Oh.
On the cross in worship of God. Perhaps saluting the Father in Jesus.
All in the name. Thank you. I don't quite understand all that, but thanks.
Yeah, but thank you, Greenwall.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Evgeny Crosby donated a diamond. Hey, I forgot about these. Jamaal Bowman's at the Capitol watching church.
Thank you, Jamaal.
With Jesse Lee Peterson.
Appreciate it. Oh, Jamaal is that black guy that pulled the alarm.
Yeah.
What? Nah.
You need to watch church.
Excellent.
Prep Ham Paul has a monthly Rumble supporter. The first Matrix movie, when Neo comes to understand the real world and he sees the language, made me think of this type of idea, what is real reality, would be ideal if we could see from spiritual eyes instead of mortal eyes.
That's for sure.
Indeed.
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh, Prep Ham Paul. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is he from Arkansas?
Maybe.
Prep Ham Paul. JPS.
Maybe JP's words? I'm not sure.
Okay. JP, you forgot the little apostrophe.
Right.
JP's words, this to make one think. Not just what is reality. That's why he asks, what is real reality?
Right.
It makes one think more about it.
That's a good point. I didn't just ask what is reality. I ask what is real reality. Amazing.
Hector Martinez bought 3 coffees. Good morning, JLP and crew. Shout out Joel, Hake, and the American anchor baby. I know Jesse didn't ask me, but I think God is like my earthly father. He has a lot of wisdom, but at times, because of my quote-unquote emotions, I don't always grasp the lesson behind his experiences until I do my silent prayer and sit still and alone. Once I let go of my emotions, I can see clearly where I may be lacking and start to get rid of my demons' thoughts. Demons? What the?
Amazing. Thank you. Joel, what did you think about that question yesterday when I ask, who is God?
Interesting because of the fact that it's kind of like a simple question of who is God, but nobody stops to think, what does that even mean? Who it is? So it makes you kind of like question, do you even really know who he is? You know, what does he do for you? So I thought it was good. That was interesting.
Who did you say he was? Did you say yesterday?
I just said the light. I just said the basic answers. The light, love.
All stuff that you learn.
Stuff that you learn
around God.
And what was the answer? Did you say the answer?
Yeah. I said that. What did I say? Hey.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Mm-hmm.
Were y'all there?
What the?
I was there in spirit, in body, but not in spirit.
You said that it was just a God has just become a word.
No, God is just a word.
Spirit.
Yeah.
It's just a word.
Yeah.
The real God is a spirit, but the word God is just a word. It's like Joel is just a name. It's just a word, but it's not who Joel is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I said that.
You said what?
I said that guy's a spirit.
But I get offended when people use the possessive James apostrophe without an apostrophe S,
right,
because I identify with my name.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's crazy. And then when you hear the word God, you put all your learning stuff around it. God is the Father. God is this. God is that.
Oh yeah.
And that way, when you do that, you prevent the Spirit of God from helping you, because you already got all your ideas about God.
The distractions.
Which you've been learned and taught. It's just a word. So now when you say God, you're going to say it consciously, and it won't have all of the mental and emotional effect to you. Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Oh, amazing.
You can read that one.
Oh, he read the long one and gave me the short one, because he knows.
The coffees go from bottom to top.
Oh,
yeah.
You black.
Sure. Hector Martinez is now a member. I can read that part?
Yeah. He's a monthly supporter on Buy Me a Coffee. That's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hector says, I'm brown and slow, and it took me a while to realize why I was always feeling lost. I resented my father and mother, and until I forgave, I started to see change. Amazing. Thank you to JLP and crew.
Thank
and
you.
He did this thing. With the hands.
Celebration hands emoji.
Amazing. Oh, that means celebrate?
Well, I say yes, and then there's like movement coming out of his fingertips.
That should be the biblical question. What does this mean?
Hallelujah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Piotr Robel bought 5 coffees. Thank you, Jesse and the team, for the best fellowship on this side of heaven. Stay with it, and stay with it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing. Check out the fellowship, rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Yeah.
You can podcast that, all right?
Oh, yeah?
Rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Steve Tracy. No.
Steve Strack.
Steve Strack.
He black.
He black and he back. Not being able to read. Steve Strack bought you 10 coffees. 10.
Thank you. Amazing.
Wow, Steve. I realized this week it's one thing to be conscious and then let go, but it's a whole other thing to live from an empty place, having let go of everything. Thought I was free before, but I've never experienced this until now. I see no point in being conscious if I'm not going to let go. I'm just resisting at that point, causing unnecessary suffering.
Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you. That's deep.
Henry Ford Lives donated a diamond on D-Live. The shekels flow to you now. I disavow all thoughts.
All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Believe me. Once you really, really see that, you're going to do what Wow does. Walk on water with his dog. Wow, Hassan. Amazing. Thank you.
Someone bought you a coffee. Who's someone? Who's the someone? And someone says...
That's the name of the person.
Right. Someone says, in the first month of hearing you, I was staying present and overcoming thoughts and feelings. Now, the majority of the time, I'm really not feeling anything, and I don't know what to do with myself. Do you come to this point too? I'm not claiming I have overcome all emotions, but I'm not suffering like I was, and now I don't know what to do with myself. It's like I was getting a thrill from coming out of hell, and now it's just nothing. Any feedback or advice?
You're on your way. Stay there, stay there, stay there. You're overcoming the world. You don't want to live by feelings and emotions. You want to live by the Spirit of the Father. Stay present. You're on the right track. All right? Amazing.
Kilo Alpha Tango bought a diamond.
Yes, I know what I've been through that too, so I understand it clearly.
This is the last church super chat. We're getting caught up, guys. Kilo Alpha Tango with a diamond. This fellowship has been deep, deep, deep. Best TSOH this side of heaven.
Nice.
I just figured it out right now.
Thank you.
Soul Conscious bought 5 coffees.
Thank you.
Jesse, church was amazing. Do you think that to be fruitful and multiply means to be the light of the world and good example? Because most Christian thinks it means to get married and make babies.
That's a very, very good question. One thing I don't know right now, but the one thing I do know, everything that we've been taught has been wrong. I can hear y'all.
Oh. My bag. My bag.
Y'all don't think we can hear you?
Oh, shoot. Jesse's talking.
What a mess. Okay, thank you.
I'll cover the mic when I talk.
There's something.
We need a cough button.
Yeah, we don't. All right.
Now, that's what I have.
Right.
Okay.
Someone bought you 2 coffees. No message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Young bought you a coffee and said, hey, Jesse, I've got some new names from the Great White Hope, President Trump. Burr Brain for neocon Nikki Haley.
What a perfect name.
And Pencil Neck for Adam Schiff. Crazy Nancy for Nancy Pelosi. And now, he says, now that's pretty funny, especially Ron DeSantis' new nickname.
What's the new nickname for Ron DeSantis? I knew DeSanctimonious.
Right,
but,
that's something I heard too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing.
And I didn't realize that was fitting for him.
What I got to do is stop there.
Okay.
I got to stop there because of time.
All right.
And I want to squeeze in some more calls. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. I want to get in a few more calls here before we run out of time. Let me go to Greg. Greg, been waiting a long time. Greg, welcome to the show out of California.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, you guys had an amazing service yesterday. I got to go for the first time.
It was mind-blowing. Thank you.
So, I just had a really, really quick question. So, lately, as opposed to before lately. As opposed to before I forgave and been doing the silent prayer, there's been a lot less. There's been no crying, no getting angry at people, no giving into emotions. But I still am hearing music. Like sometimes I'll be just doing my day-to-day stuff and then music will play in my head. And sometimes it's a song, I listened to very recently, but sometimes it's just completely random music. And I was wondering, it kind of seems like a smoke screen to let other thoughts in. What do you think that is?
It's just Satan repeated reminding you of stuff that you were into before. Don't worry about it. Just watch it and do nothing about it. It'll disappear. The light would clear it up. I went through the same thing, man, just with the music stuff. So no big deal. Don't make it a big deal at all.
All right, because I was really big into music, and like you say, when you keep doing the silent prayer and watching yourself, you realize you had all these hobbies and all these things that get you busy that just fall away. And one of my things was listening to music. I'm Gen Z too, and you notice the Gen Z, they always got their headphones in, they're always blasting music, and I used to make fun of those people, and then I became one of them.
Yeah, no, just watch it. Don't make it a big deal. Stay with the prayer, and it's fine.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Amazing. Let me go to Jamie, a first-time call out of Pennsylvania. Jamie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes,
nice
sir.
to talk to you.
You too. Thank you.
I got your 7 Steps book. You autographed it for me. Want to say thank you. And I had an answer to the biblical question for you.
You're welcome. And when you don't know what to do, why do you distort it by doing something?
Because I think it's in our ego nature to assume that it goes to that saying, well, if he can do it, I can do it. But you don't see what goes into mastering something. So you just, you might get in there without any experience and, your intentions are good, you want to try, but you haven't put in the time to learn.
So when you don't know what to do, you distort it by doing something. Make it a little clearer for me, Jamie.
Yeah, it's like jumping in without really looking into it.
Oh, okay.
And
so you even though you don't know what to do, you jump in anyway.
Yeah, because you're like, oh well, if the next guy can do it, I can do it.
Oh, I see.
So you just have that pride about you.
Oh.
But you don't see what that guy went through to become good at something. So you go in there and think, oh, I'm better than him. I can do it. And you just distort it. You mess it up because you didn't really look at, any of the things it takes to get some places.
That's very, very interesting, Jamie. I want to comment on it, but I got to hold it until Sunday. But very interesting, man.
Well, I hope so. I hope it added something because that's all I could come up with.
Did you know? Did you know you were doing that before it became a biblical question?
I had a lot of ego and pride and all kinds of things. So there's been many times in my life where I've made things worse by not taking a step back and going about it,
Yeah.
in the right way. So yeah, for sure.
Have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Yeah, I brought my mom to live with me.
What?
Yeah, because my grandmother passed away and she was staying with my grandmother.
Uh-huh.
And, so the house was going up for sale.
Where's
so
her
I
husband?
brought her to stay with me. Oh, my dad was her first husband. Dad's done for 20 years. And then she married some real psychopath, and that's done.
How old are you?
Now, I'm 33.
So what is it like being stuck with her?
It's good. I love my mom. She had a hard time, and we really didn't do great when I was growing up, but I forgive her. I know people aren't perfect.
You told her you
And,
forgive her?
Oh, yeah.
And what did she say when you told her?
She just, I love you.
And what is it like being stuck with her now?
It's not bad.
What is it like?
It's not bad. It is like, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, I guess. I mean, it's no trouble. I can say that.
And so
she helps me, you know, so she can be there, be a grandmother to my daughters. It's nice.
Okay. Amazing. I got to run, Jimmy. Thanks for your call, man, and call me again, all right?
Oh, yeah, it was great talking to you. Thanks for everything. And I'm going to read that book today.
Right on. Let me know what you think.
Thank you.
All right,
Have
buddy.
a good day.
You too. I am out of time. The Hake Report is coming up. The Hake Report from 9 to 11 right now. And then American Anchor Baby at 12 noon. I will finish the Super Chat we didn't get to the rest tomorrow. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Country and Western Tuesday. Men's Forum this Thursday night. Get on that straight and narrow. I know most people are not, but those who want to overcome your hell that you're in, that you're living in. Get on that straight and narrow, do the silent prayer, and watch. Go and forgive your mothers and your fathers. But most people don't resent their father, yearn for the father, but especially your mother. Forgive your mothers. Return to the Father and stay on that path, folks. You will not regret it. You won't regret it. And to the callers, I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Thanks for the super chats and everything. Take care, folks.
Stand up, we got fighting to do. We gotta show him who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding the lose? You better go talk to your mama. Better stop with the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. You must know thyself so you get something went wrong, but and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. Anytime you have situations happening in your life, always be still. Don't overreact. Most of the people that I know, they say, oh, I know Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm an observer. And as soon as something don't go their way, they get mad. I'm like, what the? If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax.